UConn continues to round out their roster for next season, adding Malachi Smith, former Dayton guard, played 4 years at Dayton in the A10, and he had an interesting career at Dayton. There were times where he felt like one of the very best guards, at least in that conference, if not sometimes in the country. And there were times that it just felt like he struggled or didn't live up to expectation. He did miss basically his entire junior season due to injury, only played one game and only played 7 minutes that season. Returned from injury this past season and had a career year, averaged 10 and a half points, 5.3 assists. All three of the seasons that he played basically a full season or half a season at minimum, he's averaged over 5 assists. So he's a genuinely great setup guy and a career 38% three-point shooter. Has never shot worse than 38% from three in a single season. So I like this ad for UConn. I feel like some people are split on it in general. We don't know if Malachi is being brought in to be a starting guard on this team or be a bench guard. I would assume with Silas Demery in the fold and with Solo Ball returning and with Braylon Mullins in the mix, you would think that Malachi Smith comes off the bench, but he's a guy that's good enough, honestly, as a setup guy. You could convince me he has value in the starting lineup here. I like this ad a lot. What is your reaction?
I don't like it
Whoa, why?
because I love it.
Ah, good bait
I,
switch there.
yeah, it's gonna get spooky maybe this year on this podcast because I might be a whore for stores. Um, I love everything about what Hurley's doing in the portal. If he's able to get Caravan back, which I kind of believe that I think he can, I think he will. Um, Combine that with the recruiting class, combine that with the chip that's on Dan Hurley's shoulder from this past season. Uh, this to me, UConn is certified top five preseason. With Caravan back for sure, you can make an argument they should be higher. But I love this ad as a backup point guard ad, and that's what I think it is. I think last year you saw that there was no options as a backup point guard for UConn. They did not have one. They brought Ahmad Noel in to be that. He could not be that, and then Diarra was basically tasked with the starting point guard duties, and I thought Diarra worked better as a backup, which you saw the previous 2 years. They now have a very, very good backup point guard in my eyes. So I love this ad as a backup point guard ad, and I just kind of love what UConn is doing in general with this team.
Is Caravan back?
I'm assuming he's back.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be special. I've just always assumed he's gone, but
To
maybe I should
where?
assume he's back.
I feel like if you're not a certified first round draft pick, you might as well come back.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's true. Um, With or without Caravan, I love what this roster is becoming. I think Hurley's done a phenomenal job, and I know we caught a lot of flack for criticizing them last year. Maybe as a peace offering to UConn fans, maybe we could agree that we were onto something a little bit. Like
Mm-mm.
last year, we were mostly mad that the point guard and center spots felt like they weren't addressed the way they needed to be. I think those two lingering things hung over the entire season. And guess what? I think they've addressed both of them. I think they got awesome guards between Demery and Malachi Smith. Quite frankly, both of those are better than any point guard play that you got last season. And I think Ryby coming in is going to give you exactly what you need at the center spot that you didn't have. Hopefully, allowing Terrace Reed to be a great backup. But even if Terrace starts, I think you're going to have 40 awesome minutes there between those two. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. I was so out on the UConn bandwagon and like so antagonistic towards UConn fans. And now I'm just in a spot where I need to give Hurley a bunch of credit because, much like Purdue, very similar to what Painter's done this offseason. He's doing all the things I wanted him to do now. And now I have to flip and be like, here's your flowers for doing the things I wanted last year that everybody shit on me for wanting. I love this, though. I think Malachi Smith, I'm going to say this. I agree with you. I think he's the backup guard in theory, but I think he's going to play a ton. And I would bet you that there's a stretch of this season that Malachi Smith starts for this team. We interrupt this sleepers video to talk directly to you, our loyal listener. Have you ever found yourself watching us two idiots thinking, hey, I wish there was a very easy, small way for me to show a token of my appreciation for all of their hard work on all these videos I love to watch? Well, now we have just the way to do that.
Thanks to the beautiful folks over at Underdog Fantasy. They are helping us out this month, presenting a lot of the content coming out this month, giving you a chance with a amazing offer that you can use using our promo code that Gregory will tell you more about.
Yeah, so college hoop season's over, but we got like big time golf tournaments. The NBA playoffs are coming. Baseball season's underway. There's still a bunch of sports on. There's still a bunch of ways to play with Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SLEEPERS. As a new customer, you can get up to 1,000 bonus credits plus a free pick. It's one of the most fun ways to play. It's a great way to support us. And on some actual like non-ad read stuff, talking genuinely here, really helps us because if Underdog loves us, if we get a lot of people to sign up, they're going to help us continue to bring you the content that you love. Show your support. Join Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SLEEPERS. Get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a free pick. Because when I've watched him at Dayton, one, Dayton's been really good since he's been there. They've had great teams, winning teams. Kobe Bryant was there. They've had good talent come through. Last year they finished third in the A10, but 23 wins. They had that huge run in the Maui Invitational where they were like playing awesome basketball. The thing that I like most about Malachi is he knows how to play with other good players, and he's so damn unselfish. Like I think he's been good enough at times at Dayton to be like a takeover guy. You could honestly probably criticize him for not doing that more. But at UConn, he's never going to have to do that. He's probably going to be a dude that's out there thrilled to take like 2 shots a game and just make sure everybody else is getting the ball. And he's damn good at doing that. Like Solo Ball is going to love playing with this dude. Braylon Mullins is going to love playing with this dude. So I give this a 10 out of 10 as far as an ad goes. And the combination, him and Demery together, I think is like a massive win for this program.
Yeah, especially because I there were some times this past season where I did think that Dayton looked better when Malachi was not on the floor, or at least like took a step back a little bit. But all in all, I think you're getting a point guard who's won a lot of games for Dayton, has played a lot of basketball, and you know, I think to your point, there's gonna be some times this year where Malachi Smith comes in and I think wins them basketball games with his play, or is a spark plug for a run that wins them games. I think it's a luxury to have. I don't think if you line up backup point guards in the country, I think Malachi Smith is one that would be up there.
He's also a pretty great rebounder for being a 6 foot guard. And I'm curious what Hurley does with that because obviously with Tristan Newton, like he really used him on the boards and he became like a double threat at times. I don't know that you're going to necessarily need Malachi Smith to rebound, especially if he's playing an off the bench role, but it's something he's capable of. And at times we saw in a big way at Dayton. He averaged 4 rebounds as a freshman all those years ago as a 6 foot, 170 pound guard. And going through some of his game logs even this year, like he had games at the end of the season with like 9 rebounds, which is just rare to see for a kid of his caliber. He had a 10 rebound game against St. Joe's in February. So yeah, dude that can stuff the stat sheet. I really like the ad. I feel like there's a world he ends up starting games for this team just because of how good of a teammate he is and how he can fit in. And it's going to be a luxury. That group of Solo Ball, do we count Mullins as a guard?
Yeah, I do.
So Solo Ball, Braylon Mullins, Silas Demery, Malachi Smith, top blank backcourt in the country next year.
Top five?
Feels at minimum top five, maybe
Yeah,
top three.
I was gonna go there, but I didn't want to like leave anybody out. But it sounds like a top three backcourt unit.
Yeah, I feel like the only one coming to the top of my mind ahead of them would be Purdue, just because they have Braden and they bring back guys that have been a core for three
Yeah,
years. But
Louisville,
Louisville's very good too. Yeah. St. John's trying to get in there,
St.
but
John's trying to, yeah, but like certified top five.
I might take UConn's over every other non-Purdue team though, I think.
Mm.
Because they're vetty and they got the youth, they got the shot making. I feel like they got 4 different guys who can do 4 different things.
Yeah, I want to make something very clear, and I said this on the full episode that came out today. I am I want to use some big words. I am dastardly, gasperly terrified of Dan Hurley this year. Just want to make that very, very clear.
This year?
Yeah, well, I always am, but this year especially, because there's not shit that's manufactured this year. he's heard the disrespect. He understands it. He thinks that he should have beat the national champion too, by the way. He had them on the ropes. It is gonna get spooky this year.
Yeah, it's very true. Going to be interesting. Congrats to UConn. Congrats to Malachi Smith. It's a perfect fit.